pressure on Avondale and to score a big 3 points tonight.
And we will also be observing a minute silence as well for the Anzacs as well. It's Anzac weekend in every code as well. I know the AFL and the NRL are doing it as well. The A-League did it last night as well, which was fantastic by the FFA as well. And kudos to the FFV and everyone involved in Football Victoria for giving us the opportunity to commemorate the Anzacs, for those who have lived and breathed in the wars, who are currently still fighting as well, the servicemen and women who have also fighting overseas, who have fought overseas, and for those that we've, live in this great land for a reason, and they've kept us protected for so long. So it's always great to do the Anzac weekend. It's always good to do the last post, the 1 minute silence, which we're going to do very, very shortly as well. We might get through the teams really quickly too before then. So for Heidelberg United, starting in goals will be number 1, Christopher Theodorides. Number 2, Joshua Wilkins. Number 3, Les Dumbalas. We'll take a minute silence. We'll come back to more of that very shortly. Always good to hear the last post as well during the Anzac weekend. I still get hairs stay on the back of my head every time for that happens there, Katie.
I was lucky enough to take it in this past Thursday at the footy with the Anzac Day game at the MCG. Brilliant occasion, well observed by everyone, and of course well observed by everyone here tonight. And kudos to the Heidelberg staff for organising that to be played tonight, and to have everyone observe that. Well done to all.
And I was there Thursday night as well for Melbourne Storm, New Zealand Warriors, and it was just a fantastic occasion as well. And Heidelberg's moniker is United We Stand, and normally this time, this Anzac weekend in particular, we as a country, we as a footballing nation, we also like to stand together. So united we stand for tonight and pay homage to those who have lived and breathed in the war and whose lives have been lost, and those currently still serving in active duty as well.
Very thankful and grateful for the sacrifices that many have made in service to this country, and today's just a small thing that we can do to help honour them. So thanks to all who served today and to all who have served in the past.
As we get our lines back now, so I'll start with the starting 11 again for Heidelberg United. So number 1, Christopher Theodoridis. Number 2, Josh Wilkins. Number 3, Les Dumbalis. Number 6, Lewis Hall. Number 9, Adrian Zara. Number 10, Jack Petrie. Number 7, Ruben Way. Number 13, Luke Biles. Number 16, Tom Cahill. Number 17, Stephen Pace. And number 19, Sean Ellis on the bench. And it's a pretty big bench as well. Number 14, Harry New. Number 15, Paul O'Brien. Number 21, Jacob Burns. Number 25, Peter Dang. And number 35, Alex Pavlidis. And for Dandenong City, number 5, Alexander Alferreira. Number 8, Zach Thompson. Number 12, Sean Filipovic. Number 13, Greg Lombardo. Number 16, Kyle Kennedy. Number 17, Liam McCormack. Number 19, James Kelly. Number 20, Anthony Poljak. Number 23, Dean Piemonte. Number 24, Luke Pilkington. Number 55, Petar Franjic. And on the bench for Dandy City tonight, number 1, Clayton Monticello. Number 3, Akbal Jawadi. Number 14, Jaden Unmack. Number 21, Stipo Andrasevic. And number 22, Mark Ochieng. I'm going to get a quick scoreline prediction from you, Katie, before we get ourselves kicked off here at the Olympic Village. I'm going to go Heidelberg 4-0. I think you're right when we said this off air. They were far too strong against Bentley, and they're starting to hit their straps now.
I'm going to go across a similar line, but I'm going to say Heidelberg 3-1. I think on home soil, they're too good. They do have to keep up today with Avondale, who have defeated Oakley this afternoon. 3-1, I believe, earlier today. So here's their opportunity, and they're not going to want to let it slip.
As we begin play this evening as well, and it's going to be very interesting to see how tonight goes as well, as the whistle's been called. So Heidelberg to get the early possession early on in this one at the Olympic Village. And I keep forgetting how beautiful this venue is, Katie, from my time here. I used to be here quite a bit during the M Football days, and a shout out to the M Football guys for sending me here back in 2016 when I did majority of the 2016 NPL Victoria season. Heidelberg United treated me so well around here too, and saw the drive here this afternoon and tonight as well as the sun sets. For myself in particular, this sort of brings back a lot of great memories.
It's a great ground, a historic ground. You can see the club has had a really good few successful years, and you can, once this place starts to get filled up and it gets an atmosphere going, it's a really good place to be. And it really is a stronghold for them. It really is a stronghold for the players. They seem to get a rise every time they're here. So, again, just a lovely atmosphere. It's a very lively and very upbeat crowd tonight, and I'm sure they're looking forward to a great contest.
And the weather's been fresh too, because the weather we did 2 weeks ago was nice and warm, and it was about 21, 22 degrees, and it's probably going to dip to maybe the single digits probably later on tonight as well as winter sort of starts to kick in. As we see Heidelberg United and JC with an aerial duel in the middle. That was Thompson going down with, I think it was Adrian Zara at that point in time. So Heidelberg United with the possession back. Just going to try and spot with my eyesight here. Should have bought the binoculars, I think, Katie, because my eyesight's going to precede me a little bit over the course of tonight at Zara. He's going to get a quick free kick here. So Heidelberg United are going to try get this momentum early and try and have the first opportunity to score in this match tonight. And for Heidelberg as well, they're in third place at the moment on the NPL Victoria table as we sort of tick over the third minute here. What is the one thing, would you say, that Danny C needs to do in this one to sort of shut out United? Because they're pretty strong. If you look at the people that can score for them, Adrian Zara can score, Jack Petrie can score, Stephen Pace, he's got Clem Cahill as well, Sean Ellis. Like, they've got so many to choose from as well. It's just not, one or two players like most clubs do. It's a big string of players. 5, 6, 7 players can get on that score sheet.
There's been a bit of a change for Dandenong as well, with parting ways, of course, with Joko Kuzman just a couple of weeks ago. So I guess the emphasis for them should be on just try to keep it tight, try to stay compact, don't allow any space, try to get your feet under you just a little bit, try not to get blown away early, but seems to be a bit of pressure on in these early moments as Heidelberg look to, here's Cahill, but he's flagged offside, tries to get a header away there, but an early warning sign. Again, as you mentioned, there is firepower there that Heidelberg do have, and the key for Dandy is just really not to just try to stay compact, try not to get overawed, try not to let them get on top of you, and try to get some chances through Poliak. I know he can thrive off those chances.
And I did see Danny C take on Oakley Cannons, and for them it was a bit of a small victory as well, time with Oakley Cannons a couple of weeks back when it was 1-1. The ball is brought to our broadcast side. That was headed off there by James Kelly. Bit of an aerial duel there between Petrie and Kennedy. But it's going to be Heidelberg who are going to reset from the back as well. Still 0-0 here. We're ticking over into our 4th minute, and this is a good opportunity now through Sean Ellis. Ellis is very silky when it comes to the right-hand side of the touchline, and might pay dividends for him as well, because Heidelberg United have a throw-in. It's going to be taken by Josh Wilkins, and might even give a shout out to Joey Lynch as well from a Daily Football Show as well. Breaking news earlier today that Josh Wilkins has been granted a trial by the Central Coast Mariners, and from what I've been told as well, could be as early as Monday. So big ups to Josh Wilkins as well, and it shows from strength to strength that plays in the NPL Victoria, again, well noticed by those in the A-League, which is a fantastic initiative as well. It's great to see our players going out and making football not only just a hobby and a lifestyle and something to work on and play, on weekends and training Tuesday and Thursday nights, but also turning that into a potential full-time career as well.
Big news for Josh, and congratulations and the best of luck to him on that trial there. I do believe that the Mariners staff are very high on him as a player, on the ball, particularly his technique. They do believe he's a very strong replacement for Matthew Miller in that fullback position. You can't deny that he deserves this opportunity. I think he's been a really standout performer in the last couple of seasons with Heidelberg United. So some really, really great news today reported by Joey Lynch, a fantastic scoop there as well. I think there's not enough chances still for NPL players at this level to get into the A-League. As 2 new teams come into the competition over the coming years in the A-League, I think that'll start to change. But coaches will be better off always looking to NPL players. I think it's a low-risk thing and a very high reward once it works out. So huge congrats to Josh Wilkins on this opportunity.
It's a big opportunity as well to play in a competition like the NPL Victoria and to get rewarded as well. And I know that JA will definitely be keeping an eye out on the rest of the competition, not only in Victoria but also nationwide too, in every NPL competition to try and poach place for Western United when they begin in October, which is going to be good to see as well, to see that 3rd Melbourne team kickstart, and hopefully for JA to kickstart, which should be a promising and fulfilling long-term career as a full-time coach.
Definitely does deserve that opportunity as well. It's always good to see clubs looking toward the local level. Of course, Johnny A has had a fantastic time with Bentley Greens, has turned them into a powerhouse, and no doubt deserves that opportunity. So it definitely changes the game in regards to players and their opportunities as well. They finally have a guy there who has seen it all in the NPL and who's always on the lookout for talent. So yeah, it's a definitely exciting time in that sense. Definitely, there's more and more opportunities that are coming, which seems to be good. There's more and more still to be done, of course.
So it's still 0-0 as we're still in the middle here. So there's a bit of a lull in play. Currently in the 8th minute of this contest. It's still 0-0 between Heidelberg and Danny City. About a great way for Ruben Way, no pun intended there, to get onto a break. He'll pass through midfields to Jack Petrie. And what can Heidelberg do from the back end of the pitch here? As we see a player down, and it's Anthony Poljak who's holding. Actually, it's Piemonte, actually. So it's Dean Piemonte. Try and get a closer examination as the trainer's been called out for Dandy City, whether it's an ankle or a knee. Katie, what can you see from your eye of sight?
Doesn't look too good. Doesn't seem to be moving. But again, I'll just have a look at this. He looks like an opportunity. Looks like a substitution may already be needed here. So stand by for that. Possibly an early sub made. Or they may look to give it a go here. They may see how he runs it out at the moment. Still give him an opportunity just to test it out and go from there, I think. Unfortunately, no. There's going to be a change. Unfortunately, that means an end to Dean Piemonte's night early on here. Marco Cheng will replace him at this time.
I think we had to double check the team sheets as well, because the team sheets have given us number 22, Mark Ochieng. We didn't realise that he's gone with the number 11 tonight. So, bit of a sneaky one from everyone behind the scenes at Dandy City for shocking us a little bit. But so Mark Ochieng's come onto the field, and Dean Piemonte will take no further part in this one early on. This one, so Dandy City having to make an early sub, which I don't think they wanted, and that's the speed gone from Dandy City's midfield as well, because Dean Piemonte can use that pace very well, and that's one thing that they're going to lack throughout the course of this contest here. And Heidelberg United will get a free kick. Ruben Way going down in that contest there, and Heidelberg going to play quickly here. Over to Josh Wilkins. Ball was blocked shortly. Petrie. And whistle's been called. And Petrie feeling the full effects of that header. So free kick to be taken by Sean Ellis. And Sean's generally a good set-piece taker as well. He's generally good with the free kicks. Be good to see what he can do from, I'd say, not too far from the box, but they're probably about 30 yards out. As Ellis, he's going to go for the short option here to Wilkins. Wilkins is going to cross that one in. He found the chest of Ruben Way, and Way had an opportunity there, but Dandy City putting the extra man back, and for the short time can get the ball out as Heidelberg United look like they're going to reset from the back here.
Handy little routine there from Heidelberg. Straight off the training pitch, you can definitely see with that one. Josh Wilkins on the overlap. Nearly worked too. I think Way got into some really good space to get that away. Just couldn't quite control, couldn't get enough time, but handy little routine as Heidelberg still look to maintain some early pressure. A bit stop-start here early on at the time, but Heidelberg doing well to keep it locked in their half. They'll look to keep it there as Cahill turns, holds up the ball, goes across the face of goal to the back post.
Ruben Way, he's going to cross this one in, looking for the direction of Ellis. Heidelberg United still not out of trouble there. High kick there from Petrie. And the whistle's being called. And Dandy City can bring a sigh of relief knowing they're going to get the free kick. But Heidelberg United attacking pretty early in the first 10 minutes of this contest. Still 0-0. But we're seeing what Heidelberg United are made of early on in this contest. And the one thing about their players too is that a lot of them are very selfless. Like, they're not too selfish. They'll always find space. If they find space to pass to a player or to cross into a player, they will. They won't sort of go for the goal themselves. So that's one good thing about why Heidelberg's been so successful as a club over the last few years or so, because just the selflessness of every single player on that roster. And George Kasakis has done a fantastic job with this team. So we've gone broadcast side here. Petrie will pass that ball through. We saw McCormick go down. So Danny C will get a free kick out of this one. Danny C holding their own, which is always good, Katie.
Just need to take their time and keep hold still a little bit more. Just try not to, I guess, Heidelberg looking to pretty much put as much pressure as they can early on, but they seem to be meeting it pretty well at this time. Hanging on pretty tight, as you can see early on. Still very early on in the game, of course. Of course, if you're from wherever you're watching, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Any questions, comments, feedback about the game, let us know. We'll even read some out on air. I'll even possibly even reply to you in the comments. So let's get that engagement going. Let us know where you're watching from.
We had fantastic engagement the last game we did too, Katie. We had a few people from London, from New Zealand. We had one from Chile as well watching the Avondale game, which was a phenomenal feat as well. I think it was like 3 a.m. at that point in time as well. As we're saying, trying to get our bearings back, and Heidelberg United did have an opportunity there, but the ball's going to head out to the sideline and it's going to be brought back in. I'll soon to reset. The one thing I will say about Heidelberg United's ground is that you're so far away, especially from where we are as well. You're so far away from how far the pitch is at times, so it's very hard to sort of distinguish who's who. A ball through Zach Thompson. Great ball there from Poljak. There's Ochieng. A bit of a duel there with Dombalis. And Heidelberg can hopefully get an opportunity to go forwards. Great block there from Dandy City and through Pilkington. Don't know where he's win that ball. I think he was trying to put into the lap of Ochieng, and Heidelberg United again take possession of this ball, and right in front of us was Josh Wilkins. He tried to find the breadbasket of Tom Cahill and couldn't in the end. Could also talk about as well the other game that's happening in about 40 minutes time from my recollection. Will be 7 p.m. kickoff. Declan Stadium, George Andrews Reserve, Dandenong Thunder, so Dandy City's arch nemesis against South Melbourne. So that's going to be a very interesting game. And over the course of the evening, before we hand it over fully to the guys over in Dandy, we'll keep you going over the course, and we'll let you know how that game's going as well between South and the Thunder. Opportunity here now. Inborn, have no idea where James Kelly was going to try and put that. Was far away from the breadbasket as possible, the back of the net. And all Christian Theodoridis can do in that situation would just watch the ball sail over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick. Not his intended target, though, James Kelly, but a great start from him as well.
Gave it a go there. That was an early warning, I think, there for Heidelberg as well. Kelly getting free, had way too much space there to operate, and against a team that is very tough to play against, that is Heidelberg United. It's an early warning for them to just keep it tight. Early momentum here, though, still. But, again, keep your eye just on that counter-attack.
Heidelberg with possession. They're going to try and go in deep. Good for Cahill. Couldn't get through in the end. And they can sort of go from the back here as Ferreira has the ball. And we're seeing now what Dandy City can really do when they receive from the back. As Katie's having a quick look at the comments section. Mark Ochieng versus Stephen Pace in this situation here. Pace tried to keep it within reach. Failed to do so in Dandy City. Now with a great opportunity in the 17th minute to press into the box. Ball will be taken through Luke Pilkington. And it's a smart decision of what they're going to do here, Dandy City. If what Pilkington can do in this situation, he's going to try and go in deep. Good header. Ball's kept in possession through Thompson. Thompson's a prolific goal scorer as well for Danny City. He's scored a few goals so far this season. Ball in the hands of Kelly. Kelly trying to get through the last of the of the Heidelberg defenders. He'll pass it back over to McCormick, and McCormick will pass over to Pilkington. And Franic will square this ball long. He'll find Poljak only for a short time, but the linesman has declared that Poljak was offside, and Heidelberg United, through Christian Theodoridis, can get the ball out of the dead zone and back into play. As we continue here, it's still 0-0. As Katie said as well, over the course of the evening, feel free to get in contact with us at any time as well. We'll read every comment possible that we can in between the lulls of play. So we have Wilkins squared that ball into the box, and Kelly will have a short lob away. Not too bad, but failed to find a Dandenong player. Opportunity now. Zara over to Petrie. Ball going long and... Oh, it's in! Oh! Deflected off Les Dumbalis. It was a Les Dumbalis shot, but it was deflected off a Dandenong City defender. That was sheer freak of nature work, and Heidelberg United are off the mark in a remarkable way. It's 1-0 in favour of United. Katie Lambeski watching the replay. I'm going to get her to have comment on this too, because this is remarkable. We're seeing the replay now.
Remarkable. Dumbalis just takes a swing at it, has a shot, took it on, and by luck it just floats in off a defender. Keeper didn't really know where to look in that. Kyle Kennedy, of course, in goal for Dandenong, just sort of floated in, just sort of dropped in there. Les Dumbalis taking the shot on. Fantastic early goal for Heidelberg to get in front with. And it's after a really good spell of play from Dandy. Dandy looked to be getting into the game just a little bit much, and then Heidelberg just take it away from them there, who, of course, who've had their chances, no doubt about it. Way and Zara have been really key early on, and they've made the most of it now. Some of the early chances, and they've been able to get in front with a freakish goal from Dumbalis.
Not often we can say that Les Dumbalis is on the score sheet, but Katie, Les Dumbalis is on the score sheets. So, Heidelberg United are 1-0 up, and we're going to try and get our bearings back, because that was just a remarkable deflection. We thought it was going to hit the crossbar and go out of the byline, and lo and behold, it goes into the back of the net. And you heard the sighs from the Danny City fans right below us as well. They were not too pleased with that.
A bit unlucky, I think they might feel. The team was slowly getting into it, and it football does funny things. What can I say? I'm a little bit lost for words how to describe that one, but Dumbalis took the shot on, and sometimes you have to shoot for what you want in life, and Dumbalis did that just there. Of course, we have a few people in the comments asking, well, how do you get lobbed on your own line? That was from Dean Albury on the Facebook comments. What is the keeper doing? Seriously, that's another comment left on the comments there. It happens, people. Sometimes freaks of nature does happen. It just sort of dropped past him, and just unlucky, I think was all you can say. Fortune favours there, but as Wilkins looks to cross the ball and gets deflected straight into the path of Kennedy. Shout out as well to Monica Marinic, watching from Sydney. Come on, Dandy. Wishing the new coach, Ante Moric, and the club, Dandenong, the best of luck. Ante is making his debut tonight with the club, and we are proud of him. Keep those comments coming. Awesome feedback as well. Keep it coming through.
At least we've worked out as well that Kyle Kennedy was the unlucky one that unfortunately had to see that ball sailing over, and it's great to see the comment section light up as well. We see Pilkington do battle. Heidelberg United will win this battle for now, and Christian Theodoridis can bring the ball back in for the Burgers. He is the number one keeper for Heidelberg, and Heidelberg also lead by that exact amount, 1-0. As we tick over to the 23rd minute of this contest, so we're halfway through the first half. Still to come in about 20 minutes' time, we're going to have South Melbourne and Dandenong Thunder from Dackland Reserve, George Andrews Stadium. We get those two mixed up. We'll be bringing you scores throughout the course of the evening on that one as well. Ball right in front of us. The duel there between Kelly and Wilkins ends in a stalemate, but Heidelberg United win that throw-in. Again through Kelly. He's been good, Kelly, so far for City. McCormick. He's going to cross in to Poljak, and Poljak fighting there with Les Dumbalis for the ball. And I believe that Les himself is going to bring the ball back in. He won that duel there. So I think they're trying to go for more of a one-out at this point in time. Danny said they're going to try keep to the one-on-one, see what they can do in the duel part. The aerial duels are pretty important as well, and I'll get your thoughts on the plays to look out for when it comes to the aerial duels. I know the two main strikers will be definitely looking out for both City and Heidelberg, and I'll get your thoughts on that very, very shortly as well. From the reset, Pace. Cross this one into Ellis. Ellis with a bit of space. Can try and get through. Put down. Not enough warranted for a penalty, so good decision by the referee there. Zara, he'll cross this one in. Header. Good opportunity. Gone begging. I believe that was Lewis Hall who tried to go for a goal there. We checked the replay. It's actually Cahill. So another opportunity there for Heidelberg United. And the long hair of Tom Cahill playing havoc yet again. And Kyle Kennedy can get this ball out, which he does. Over to Kelly. Ball still stays in. And it's a Heidelberg ball, much to the dismay of James Kelly. And Josh Wilkins will bring the ball in, and Heidelberg look like they're going to reset now from the back. It's over to Pace, and he'll pass over to Theodoridis. He'll kick this ball very, very long. The ball has been playing well in the midfield, and if you've just joined us as well, we've had an early injury substitution. Team Piemonte sustaining what looked like a leg injury will take no further part. He was brought on for Mark Oshiang, who had come onto the game probably a little bit prematurely at this point in time, as that ball goes out deep. Right in front of us here too, Katie. Be picked up here by Pilkington.
Bit of frustration here from the Dandenong City fans here in the comments from Dean Albury. Thank you so much again for your comments. So he says, disappointing to see the boys playing so well and conceding such a cheap goal. I definitely sense that frustration. I think Dandy have been very good value early on, have been holding their own despite some early pressure. I can see the frustration, but claiming Kennedy should have done better on that goal. Unfortunately, it just didn't seem like he had enough time to react. Even he just didn't know much about it, and unfortunately, he got caught unawares. It does happen with goalkeepers. Their nightmares do tend to be spotlighted a bit more. Their mistakes, but I guess the key for Dandenong is to just keep the heads up, particularly with Kennedy. Continue to hang tight, and just to continue to sort of stay in the game. But they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination.
Ball going in deep now. Cahill tried to press that ball in. Handball, I think. They were calling for handball. Referee putting his hand up. But you're right, though, Katie. The cheap goal from Danny C. They've played so well up until this point. And they're going to have to be a little bit smart here, because another opportunity will come through Heidelberg through this free kick. As you watch to see the ball crossed in. Failed to do so. Long range, hits the crossbars. I think it was doing bowlers, and it's in. No, it's not. The linesman at the last minute puts the flag up. And I believe it was Tom Cahill who was the unlucky one too. It was a great hit, though, from long range by Les Dumbales. Hits the crossbar, back into play. And I think Cahill's foot was just a bit, one step too far away. And lucky Danny City again getting out of the woodshed, and they'll get a free kick here as well. So there's a bit of animosity in this game now between Heidelberg and Dandy City, as City will win a free kick. It'll be Zach Thompson to take the free kick as well for Dandy. How's Thompson going to centre this ball? Is he going to approach it by putting it into the box? He is. Ball goes in. Left on the head of Don Ballas there. Again, it looks like Heidelberg can get out. Cahill was up, and he's going to get a free kick here. Just a cheap foul there from Danny City, and Tom Cahill paid dividends by getting the free kick, and Heidelberg United can press as they come through of Josh Wilkins. We did have the week off last week as well of the NPL commitments due to the FFA Cup, and we can say as well that Heidelberg United have drawn Hume City here at Olympic Village, which I'm looking forward to hopefully attending, because those two sides are going to put on a clinic and a half in round 5 of the FFA Cup. Heidelberg with a 3-0 win over Keilor Park, and probably the biggest ball over from round 4 was Preston Lions in the State League, beating Dandy City 3-1.
It was a massive round of the FFA Cup, actually. Of course, you had Werribee City beating Green Gully 2-0 as well to progress into the next round. Of course, an NPL2 club progressing to the next stage. So the FFA Cup always has that ability to throw up some surprise results. Unfortunately for Dandy, didn't quite turn out. Preston, of course, in really good vein of form, of course, in the State League as well. But a chance for them to focus on the league as well and try to get off that bottom of the ladder and try to stay in the top division.
Ball is deep. And that was Zach Thompson with the floater, but a great save there from Christian Theodoridis. You can see the Dan City fans right below us. Katie there, again, a little bit frustrated, and presume so as well, because Dandy have been playing so well up until this point as well. I'd be a little bit frustrated too if I was a Dandy City supporter. They can definitely reset from this corner. Ball's curved in into the bread basket though of Christian Theodoridis. So nothing too much from that one by Zach Thompson. And now Heidelberg can press away. And that's Wilkins. He's trying to find Ellis's head. Ellis might not be too far away from having the touch of the ball with his foot, because Heidelberg United have won the throw-in. It'll be Wilkins to bring the ball back in. Wilkins, if you've just joined us, through Daily Football Show's Joey Lynch has announced that Josh Wilkins has been picked up by the Mariners for a trial and will start as early as Monday. So best of luck to Josh Wilkins on his future endeavours. And hopefully if he does break into the A-League next season, tear that place apart. Dumbalis. Now he's been a bit greedy, I think, Katie. There's Dumbalis. He wants to go for that brace. Unfortunately, the left. That ball did not spin the way he wanted it on the left and did not phase Kyle Kennedy in the slightest.
He's got that confidence going on. He definitely has. He's just trying to, any opportunity now, any bit of space, he's going to try and take a shot. And look, why not? Really, if you have that confidence and faith in your ability to do it, then by all means go for it. But sometimes it just doesn't turn out as we saw just there.
How often can you say that a main defender like Les Dumbalis can score as that ball's pressed in now? Zara versus Kennedy. Zara! And they go 2-0 up. Heidelberg United go 2-0 up. Slack defending there from Dandy City. And Adrian Zara one-on-one with Carl Kennedy. As Kennedy lies on his back, puts his hands up and goes, I need some support back there, guys. I can't do it myself. One-on-one decisions, or one-on-one positions like that, I should say, do tend to lead into a goal. And Adrian Zara had all the time in the world. And Heidelberg now, the floodgates are beginning to open here at the Olympic Village.
They've continued to press, they've continued to try and look for opportunities there. And they found one through Zara, who was able to place that home, but again, maybe you could make the case for Kennedy needing to do better there. He was nearly nutmegged, but had all the work to do after Zara got one-on-one. Again, that's what they've been trying to do, just trying to play that quickly through to Zara, and it's definitely worked in this case. So Heidelberg taking what you must say is a deserved lead. They've been able to take their chances as they have come. They've rode their luck a little bit too. Dandy have not been poor by any stretch of the imagination. You can definitely tell the application and the effort is there tonight, but it's just not working out at the moment. Still two goals down and not quite out of the game yet. There's an opportunity here in the last 12 minutes or so to potentially try and get one back, but it's definitely an uphill battle right now.
And as we did see in the Avondale game we caught against Dandenong Thunder, Thunder did claw a couple back, and we thought, oh, game on here, could be game on. So, as you can tell, the top teams are not out of the woodshed yet. And to be honest, Katie, I agree with you. I don't think Dandy are out of the woodshed yet. I did say 4-0, but I do think Dandy can maybe pinch a late goal if they're lucky as well in this one. That's what they want. Cahill said too soon. It was Zara. They're going to try and keep possession of the ball. Heidelberg. Can Danny need to get it out? And Kennedy is down. And yet again, the train's been called out this time for Kyle Kennedy, the keeper for Dandy City. And this is the last thing they need, is to have Kyle Kennedy down on the ground, because look at it, they've already made one substitution. They're going to be 2 men down before the end of 45, and it's not a good look for Danny City, because then they'll have only one sub to play with after half-time.
Unfortunate collision there for Kennedy. Came off his line trying to stop the shot there. He did well, but I think looks like he's paid the price for it. He is up and about now. He's trying to walk it off. Hopefully that means he's good to continue. He's still moving around at the moment.
As the City boys get a quick drinks break in, well-deserved too. They've been playing some hard nut football this evening here at the Olympic Village. Still got about 10 minutes of normal time before we find out how many minutes of added time at this point in time, due to the injury and due to the stoppage here and the 2 goals. I'd say we'll probably get maybe about 3 minutes of added time if we're lucky. Potentially. Katie agrees potentially we might have 3 minutes. 4 minutes potentially is probably the max that might go with, but I'd say probably an easy 3 minutes as the trainer makes his way off the field. And Kyle Kennedy is looking a lot better than what he was about 90 seconds ago. So it's good to see Kennedy up on his feet. It's the last thing City needs, to lose their number 1 keeper. And that ball will go out right in front of us, and Wilkins will bring the ball back in through to throw in. So it's 2-0 here. Heidelberg United over Dandy City at the Olympic Village. Michael Thompson and KLM Besky taking you through here. One-on-one with the keeper again. And Ruben Wade goes down the box, and straight away you knew that was a penalty. And a card has been shown. That's a yellow card. Kennedy yet again one-on-one with the keeper, and Kennedy and Ray. So Wade was one-on-one with the keeper, and Kennedy had nothing else to do in that situation. So panic stations here for Dandy City. It's 2-0. Just hope we can have Kennedy save this one, because the last thing we need is to have another goal put against Dandy City. Trying to quickly make out who it is that's taking that kick. Still not sure just from the vision or from where we are at this point in time. And he's missed it. And it's actually Adrian Zara who's missed it. So the sigh of relief from the Dandy City fans, because Adrian Zara, with a goal and opportunity to make it 3-0, It's still 2-0, and Katie, I'm no penalty expert. You'd probably be better equipped for this one than I am. What does Zara do there to not make this game 3-0?
Not going to lie to you, I'm no penalty expert either, but he just seemed too casual there. He just seemed to overthink it a little bit more. He just needed to lash that home. If you're in doubt, just lash that home, but it just rolled past the left post, and it is a bit of a let-off for Dandy as Cahill looks to come again down that right side with the cross. Zara looking for Zara, but not quite there as Dandy looked to clear.
And it'll be Els Ferreira to clear it out for Dandy City. Poljak. This ball now will go into the hands of Heidelberg United only for a short time. And the possessions come back. So again, Adrian Zara with an opportunity gone begging in this one. Heidelberg player goes down. And it's Ruben Way who's the one who's down for Heidelberg United, and Heidelberg will get a free kick out of this one. Not much they can do with this situation at the moment. Biles to pace. This is Cahill trying to get through the last defenders. He can. And they'll reset from the back through pace. Wilkins. And Theodoridis. So still 2-0 here at the Olympic Village. Fortunately, there's not much you can do in this situation, Katie, when it's 2-0 down and you've worked really hard to play as well as Danny C have. But the first goal, I can understand, was really cheap, but then the one-on-one with Zara and Kennedy didn't pay dividends. That was just poor defending there from Danny City. So we're just seeing what Danny City can do to sort of get themselves back into this one. Zach Thompson will pass this one off to Kelly. He's had a great game, Kelly. Ball goes in deep. Opportunity now for Ochieng. And a corner. We thought a corner was going to be called, but referees decided on a goal kick instead. We're about to tick over to 41 minutes in this one. And very shortly, we'll begin to present some scores update from George Andrews Reserve, Dackland Stadium, as Dandenong Thunder are taking on South Melbourne. I'm not going to lie, but that's going to be a great contest as well, and I'm looking forward to keeping my eyes peeled on that one, as I know Katie is as well, right next to me too. Mark Ochieng wearing the number 11 tonight instead of his pattern at 22. Bit of a contest. Ellis. His ball was stopped. We're just seeing a midfield battle at this point in time. And another game playing at the moment is Hume City versus Pascoe Vale, and in the 58th minutes, Hume City are 1-0 up against Paco. So that game is currently going on as we speak as well. I forgot about that one, Katie, but thank you for bringing that to my attention.
An earlier kickoff time started half hour just before our game here, of course, but absolutely everyone keep in touch with all. You can keep in touch now with all games live on Facebook, on YouTube. Many games, of course, going on tonight. We have this game in front of us here in South Melbourne and Dandenong currently going on, so tune in and catch it all live here on Facebook or on YouTube.
Strap yourself in. We can sort of call this a Super Saturday as well, because we've got 2 games on at the moment. We've got a third one about to start very, very shortly as well. And yeah, might as well call it a Super Saturday, and that's what we're going to call this. We're going to call this yet another Super Saturday in the 43rd minutes. If you just joined us as well, Heidelberg are 2-0 up Hume City 1-0 up against Pascoe Vale at the moment in the 59th minute, and we're mere moments away from kick-off between the Thunder and the Hellers as well. So great Saturday night of NPL Victoria action for you this evening. Great way to begin your Saturday night as well if you're planning to go out later. This is Pace. Pace is going to go upfield to the far wing. And on the run now, Heidelberg, Cahill over the top. Ball looks in. Ellis off the mitts of Kennedy, and Ellis has put the third goal in for Heidelberg United. It's now 3-0. There's nothing more you can say about that. It was just purely vintage Heidelberg United in that instance. Kaylin Besky on the replay. What can you tell us from that?
Heidelberg continuing to get in behind the Dandy defence. Just that pressure, I think, has started to tell on Dandy. Had they gone into the break 2-0 down, again, there's something to aim for, and I guess it's still a big challenge there, but now this is close to insurmountable. Sean Ellis there at the back post with an easy goal to tuck away home. Good save there by Kennedy, trying to keep way out there, but it's parried through to Ellis, but it's just gotten a bit harder now for Dandenong City. Heidelberg United just continue to bring on the pressure, and it started to tell a little bit as we're about to confirm the stoppage time at the moment.
Danny C would have loved to have been down 2-0 and sort of refreshed themselves in this last little bit. Here's an opportunity now for Marco Chiang, and the lineman will say, nope, you're offside in that instant. And fourth official is about to put up the board now. And I'm no mathematician, or I'm not good with my eyesight too much, but I think it's 2 minutes from what I'm seeing. It's not 3 minutes, it's not 4 minutes. So it is 2 minutes of added time, so I was only off by about 1 minute or so. I did think there might have been maybe 3 minutes of added time just due to the amount of stoppages we've had in the goals, but fourth officials, and as you can hear through the speakers as well, there will be 2 minutes of added time, so Heidelberg could try and maybe get their fourth goal. Danny C are going to try and hopefully get their first to bring momentum back into this game before half-time. Right now, it's more Danny C need a goal more than anything. They need to make sure this momentum is swung back in their pendulum over the course of this last 2 minutes and into half-time, and then hopefully come out of the sheds and mount a fight back against Heidelberg United, who, for the short time, have been pretty solid and seen bad defense here through Danny City. And a reprieve there for Danny City as they'll receive the ball back through Kyle Kennedy. And what can you say about Danny City right now? They've played so well. It's just these small, mini, little leakages down back that's sort of costing them, and it's cost them two vital goals as well heading into halftime.
Just at key moments, Heidelberg have been able to find openings just behind the Dandy defence. I think Ruben Way and Adrian Zara have led the way in regard to that. As the halftime whistle sounds here at Olympic Village, it's a deserved 3-0 lead for Heidelberg United. Just have been able to take advantage of their moments. Have rode their luck a little bit, of course, with the first goal. Heidelberg just able to finish off their chances and have been able to take a strong lead. It's all to do for Dandenong City here, but again, I guess the goals might become a little bit different in the second half. Just try to get something out of this. If it's a goal, if it's just a tactic you want to work on, there's still something to take from this game. But they'll have 15 minutes here of halftime just to go over a few things, and we'll join you guys shortly.
back here at the Olympic Village, and if you've just joined us, it's Heidelberg with a very handy 3-0 lead as they come back out in the sheds. We're still waiting on Dandy City as well, but we might quickly go through our halftime show, which I love to always do before we get back into the proceedings of the second half. So, as you said, welcome here to the halftime show. 3-0. Katie, how did you see the first half here at the Olympic Village?
I don't think for any minute Dandenong were playing particularly badly. I think they've come up against a really in-form Heidelberg side that has taken their chances, rode their luck a little bit with that first goal from Zumbalis, taking that huge deflection and floating into the back of the net there to give them that early lead. But Heidelberg just showing their class in certain times throughout the half. I think Ruben Way has had an outstanding first half. The front half, especially leading with Adrian Zara, Tom Cahill, Sean Ellis, have all worked together really well. Tom Cahill really selfless in the way that he's linked up with the forwards. Ruben Way, outstanding. I think has been at the forefront of pretty much everything for Heidelberg in an attacking sense. And as a result, they're up 3-0. They've taken a deserved 3-0 lead, and I guess the aim for Dandy is just regrouping, trying to take something out of this game still, trying to find a goal, trying to take certain lessons from it as well, coming up against one of the better teams in the competition. Not all this lost for them, I don't think. They've applied themselves really well throughout. Just certain lapses in concentration as well has not helped them. But there's another 45 to help try and rectify that. So we're just about to get underway here.
We are indeed, and I'll get your player of the match so far as well, but I really think you've picked Ruben Way as your player of the match. Yep, she's sticking fat with Ruben Way so far as her player of the match so far, as we're about to get underway very, very shortly in that one. Looking around the rest of the games as well, and kickoff is about to begin between the Thunder and South Melbourne, so stand by on scoreline for that one. But in the 80th minute, it is 1-1 as we kick off here. It's 1-1 between Pascoe Vale and Hume City, and apparently Van Schip had missed a great opportunity as well to score. So we'll keep your eyes peeled on that one as that game looks to get in for the last 10 minutes. So we kick off for the last 45 minutes here at Olympic Village. It's 3-0 Heidelberg in front. It's now a matter of what we can see from Dandy City in this second half. He was the man who started with probably the luckiest goal I've ever seen in my entire life, in Les Dumbalis bringing the ball back in to Biles. Biles to cross that one in. Ball sticks and stays with Heidelberg United. Pace. He's going to lob this one over to the direction of Sean Ellis. Running back onto it. Looked like it was going to be Lewis Hall, and unfortunately couldn't do so. So we're seeing how solid Dandy City was for the first sort of 25 minutes of this contest. Now we've got to see what they can do in this instance. And a great opportunity now for Dandy City. They're going to go in deep. Can they get an opportunity? And it was fantastic opportunity early on from Dandy City. I'm just trying to figure out who that might be. So we check on the replay. Katie's going to check the replay for us very, very shortly. This is times where I wish I brought the binoculars with me, Katie. So another opportunity early there for Dandy City, and it seems that the right-hand side of your computer screen, your phone, if you're watching it, will be the scoring end. That's where Heidelberg scored their 3 goals. It'll be through to readers to bring the ball back in now for Heidelberg United. Couldn't decipher who it was. Next time I'll make sure I bring the binoculars with me. So we tick into the 48th minute of this one. So early on this one, quick play of the ball there from Albus Ferreira. As in the referee said, we've got to get the ball back into position and start again. And it's going to be Greg Lombardo. He's going to lob this one. And it looked like it was a great duel there between Wilkins and Kelly, with Heidelberg getting the free kick. And a foul being committed there from Kelly. And Theodoridis will be the one to bring the ball back in on the free. Might get you aerial duels here, Katie. The two strikers for both Dandenong City and Heidelberg United. And who do you think is going to have a bit more of an impact in this second half?
I think it's more suiting to Tom Cahill's game particularly. He is a player who can serve as a target man. He is very handy in that sense. He's a very versatile player, but he is very can do well in the air as well. Will be a handful. I think he can be a handful for teams at set pieces and just in general play as well from aerial battles in the aerial balls. So it is another method to goal. It is another way to try and find scoring opportunities, and he's I guess the more strings to the bow, the more well-rounded a player is, the better off it is for the team as well. So he definitely fits into that category.
It's Tom Cahill winning that battle there at the moment, as we Kyle Kennedy do. Speaking of which, there is Tom Cahill just trying to create like a one-man wall and a bit of a comical thing there. He's just trying to get as close as possible. Puts the elbow up and away we go. This is Peter Franjuc. He'll kick that ball out. And Heidelberg will get the ball back through Josh Wilkins. So this is the second of 3 games currently playing right now. Hume City and Pascoval playing right now, and still 1-1 in the 83rd minute of that contest. South Melbourne and Dandenong Thunder, George Andrews Reserve, is well and truly kicked off. We'll get to the scores very, very shortly. Opportunity there to Ochieng. And there's Poljak there for Dandy City. He's going to pass it back. It looked like it was going to go to Hours Forever. I know he's going to cross that ball in, but Heidelberg can escape from the back. And a bit of miscommunication there. Sees Danny C get possession of the ball back. Here is Hours Forever to Ochieng. Mark Ochieng. He can use that speed well to his advantage. He crosses that ball deep to the direction of Kelly. Kelly versus Wilkins. Kelly and Wilkins still going. Kelly wins that one. Header off there from pace. Ball in the breadbasket of McCormick. And Dandy City can reset through the midfield. Thompson will get the ball back. Thompson over to Filipovic. Here's Poljak now, Anthony Poljak, and that ball's been call for handballs in the stands, not given. Could they see retain possession? They can. Cahill using his run there, the 1%, as we like to call it, from Tom Cahill. And Heidelberg can sort of slow the pace down just a little bit. If Alice can hit the ball, and he cannot for the interim. And it'll be Luke Pilkington to bring the ball back in for City. And hopefully for City they can reset in this one. So we've seen City through midfield. Right in front of us. Bit of space. Could have been for either Poljak or Ochieng. Still trying to get my head wrapped around that. Mark Ochieng's actually got the number 11 jersey on tonight, Katie, instead of the number 22 jersey. Good opportunity now for Poljak. Ochieng back to Anthony Poljak. Poljak. He's got it. And that's exactly what Danny City wanted. Great 1-2 there from Anthony Poljak and Mark Ochieng. And credit to Poljak, he gets that goal, and City break the deadlock, and that's exactly what they wanted. Heidelberg United 3, Dandy City 1. Kay Lambeski talk us through that replay, because it was a great 1-2, great team effort there from both Ochieng and Poljak in that instant.
Brilliant play from Ochieng to help set that up for Poljak. I think that's a very well-deserved goal. For the last few minutes of play for Dandenong, they have started this half well. They have reset. They have looked to slowly get something out of this game for this second half, and they've done that through Poljak, who really finished that one nicely. Really, really good period of play for Dandenong throughout those last few minutes, and Hey, you never know what might happen. Another quick goal, you leave the window open just that little bit for yourselves to get something out of the game. So do stay tuned, folks. This may not be over just yet. Heidelberg look to play through now.
And as you said, Danny City, that's what they need. They needed a goal to make sure that, they weren't out of the woodshed just yet. So this ball goes deep. To left side of us is Zara. Zara will pass this ball back through. Cross in, it's not too bad. Long range shot, great save there. And that was Lewis Hall with the long range shot, but a great save there from Kyle Kennedy. Using his mitts at the last second. The ball did go out for a corner, and Sean Ellis will be the recipient to bring the ball back in. As we said in this one, though, it's now time for Danny City. They can sort of stand up in this instance. They're only down 3-1, so they're not out just yet. But time is of essence for Danny City. Could be miscommunication there between Franich and Lombardo, but the ball goes out again for another corner. And again, Sean Ellis will be the one to bring the ball in. So second corner in 60 seconds for Heidelberg. And take 3 for corners. The pressure inside the 18-yard box from Heidelberg United has been prolific in this last 90 seconds. Ball sticks around. Ball's coming towards us. And it's going to be a Heidelberg throw. It was Ruben Way who was going to throw the ball. But they're going to give it off to Les Dumbalis. He'll be the one to throw the ball back in for the Burgers. I said it's 3-1. City not out of this one yet.
Bit of pressure here, though, that they need to see off, that they need to try and soak up and try to start again as Heidelberg get their fourth corner in the space of 2 minutes or so. This is where they like to dominate and sort of turn the screws here, Heidelberg. They'll look to get a goal back. We'll try to do so here through Alice at the corner.
They're going to press this one in deep. Great corner there from Petrie. Only for the short term, but Heidelberg can reset from the back. And what can the Burgers do here as Ochieng runs at Theodoridis. And Kennedy can just boot this ball out of there. High ball through midfield. Ochieng. Play stop for the time being. Poljak looked like he could have gotten an opportunity, but the play stopped because I thought a foul was going to be called. And now City have an opportunity to make it 3-2. Here is Ochieng. The pass ball, and Anthony Poljak is fouled. So here we go. City with an opportunity to make it 3-2. Can easily cross this into the box. And it's going to be Zach Thompson who's going to be the one who's going to take this set-piece free kick. About 25 or so yards out from goal. He'll definitely square this in through the middle, I'd say, of the 18-yard box. Try to get ahead of someone. Oh, great opportunity. And another one. And it was McCormick who we thought had last touch, but it was ricocheted off the defender. I think it was ricocheted off pace in the end, but McCormick looked like he had the left foot ready to just tap that in and make it 3-2. But Dandy City now have a great opportunity. And the right side of your phone and your computer has become the scoring side this evening as City retain possession for the short time. Ball's brought back. And Franich has decided to pass it back over to Kennedy, who in turn will pass it back to Franich and gives it back to Kennedy. He's basically said, boot it, mate, just boot it. And that's what Kennedy does. And feeds into Christian Theodoridis. Teasing Mark Ochieng in the instant as well. Ochieng should have known in that time that Theodoridis was going to pick the ball up. He was waiting for the right moment to do so as we have elapsed 58 minutes in this contest. It's 3-1 and suddenly there's a bit of a game on our hands. Ellis, great pass over to Wilkins. Wilkins crosses that ball in to the possession and it's a goal to Heidelberg United. And Stumbalis again, so he's on a brace, his second goal, and when he thought that Dandenong City had the possession and had the time and space to hopefully get their second goal, Heidelberg United, through another leaky defence there from City, has made this one 4-1. Les Stumbalis has a brace. And Katie, as we said, Les Stumbalis has a brace. Who would have thought you'd be saying now that he's got 2 goals on the score sheets? We have just done that, and it's 4-1 Heidelberg United over Dandenong City. And now the mountain is getting steeper for City in this one.
Just to clarify, Sean Ellis there with the goal at the back post, finding just a bit of space there, gets a bit of pressure there from Heidelberg, has told a little bit there and they've been able to take, might be a goal here, it might be a penalty shout there too, but it's not. A bit of a collision there in the box as Heidelberg look to send it off to the other end. It's all happening here at the moment.
So Sean Ellis with the recipient for that goal. My apologies. We would love to have Les Stumbalis as to have the brace, but Sean Ellis can't distinguish the good work he's done this evening as well. So our apologies as well, as we're close by as well. And what can you say? It's 4-1 and City, I think, had a great opportunity there, but as you can tell, the mountain is going to get steeper and steeper as the time continues to favour Heidelberg United in this one. Ball's inside the box again. Cahill's there. So is Way. But for the short time, City can get it out there. And it's just a man of heads. Play stopped again for some reason, and Poljak will find space to find Ochieng. Ochieng will want to cross this one in. He tried to find Filipovic. And that is, and we're seeing some some interesting words being spoken. These words we're not going to be able to say here, so hopefully we're not picking up the words from the crowd here from the Dandenong City fans. So they're getting a little bit restless here. As we're about to see another substitution. Girardi looks like he's going to come on for Alice Ferreira. And this is ridiculous when fans get a bit too animated, Katie.
Passion spilling over just a little bit here. Hopefully just a moment to cool things down for these next few minutes as we await a set piece here. The corner comes in.
Ball is going to the left side. And it's Heidelberg United who can get this ball out of here for the short time. DC to bring the ball back in. Their through balls have been great in the second half, Dandenong City. Their forward pressure's been a bit better than their first half, that's for sure. But thankfully, cooler heads have prevailed for the short time. And no one's gone too animated or jumped over the fence just yet, which is something we definitely don't want to see in this sport. We don't want to see in this contest as always. You can sense the frustration a little bit from Dandenong City. Thompson and Cahill coming to blows a little bit. Chiang, for a short time, had the ball back in his breadbasket to Filipovic. And suddenly Dandenong City can press forwards. They're going to try and do so. And Way goes down and a card's been shown. Not too sure what to think of the foul there. If it did warrant the card, Katie warranted the card.
Bit of a rough challenge, but I guess need to try to keep this in control somehow. Referee's just trying to potentially ease this just down a little bit, as Dandy will make the change now, it looks like, with Iki Jawadi to replace Alves Ferreira at this time. The key for Dandenong City, as I can see it, is consistency. They've had really good patches in this game, but they haven't been able to they haven't been able to really build on that and make it mean something in terms of winning games, in terms of even equalising here tonight. Potentially, they've had their moments. They just haven't been able to capitalise on them fully, and I think that's where it's let them down a little bit tonight. It's not that they've been poor by any stretch. They've just been found wanting at certain moments, just those lapses in concentration as well. As Ocheng looks to set up a promising counter-attack here.
Ball's going in, and an opportunity gone begging again for Dandy City. And hopefully with Girardi now onto the field for Dandy City, it can make a bit of a difference, because Girardi's had a fantastic year so far for Dandy City. Again, will come off the bench. So Dandy now down to one more rotation that they can utilise in this game. Heidelberg United still the same players out onto the field as they had for kickoff in the first half. This game is getting to that part now, Katie, where a bit of emotion, a bit of passion is going to come out, not only the players but also the fans in attendance here at the Olympic Village. Ball goes in long, into the L's direction, but stopped there by Girardi. And again, Heidelberg through possession of the ball, courtesy of Luke Biles, can reset, and Dandy City for a short time. Thompson, that ball was passed over, and Sean Ellis was the one who counter-attacked that one. And Heidelberg United have they want to sort of try and dictate this game on their terms at this point in time. Tom Cahill last touched that one, and Danny City through Liam McCormick can bring the ball back in. McCormick to Filipovic. Opportunity now is Poljak. Last touch was off the Heidelberg defender in Stephen Pace. And it's going to be Zach Thompson with the corner kick. And boy, do they need a goal here, Katie.
Just be good for them to take something out of, to still try to find ways to take something out of this. I know all might seem lost a little bit here, but it doesn't seem like Dandy look too disheartened. They are still trying to fight into this as the corner comes in, but skews off ahead to the left side. Dandy look to reload.
It's through Jawadi. And Danny again with possession. They're going to cross this one into the box. A sea of yellow and black of Heidelberg. Ocheng bounced off the heads. No handball called, which is a good decision by the ref. And Theodoridis has just decided he's just going to blast the ball away from a crowded space, a crowded box. And you just see the spread of players now just resetting as Liam McCormick will bring the ball back in the touch from the throw-in. We'll keep your eyes glued as well to the other games that are currently out and about. As Ocheng on the right-hand side. He'll pass it back over to McCormick, and for a short time McCormick couldn't keep the ball in his possession. And it'll be a Heidelberg throw-in. We're also going to have a look very, very shortly as well on these two teams and their games next week. And in some breaking news as well, Hume City, I should say, are 2-1 up. And it was James Brown who scored the goal for Hume City. So Hume City have taken the 3 points at ABD Stadium against Pascoe Vale. And a great win for everyone at Hume City. So they're going to be definitely celebrating long and hard. Ruben Way goes down. He'll get a free kick. Cahill try to go with the advantage into the box. And a card's been shown to Greg Lombardo. So that's his first yellow. And that is Dandenong City's, I believe, third yellow of the game as well. So you can see frustrations and tensions in the ball a little bit. It'll be Sean Ellis or Jack Petrie. I think Petrie will be taking this free kick here on the left-hand side. Lean towards the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. With Dandy City got a wall of two. Peach is going to try and find a head of someone here to put into the back of the net. Candy's keeping his eyes peeled. That ball will go in. Great header, pace. Zara, that's pace. Who's going to get that? And the game now looks done and dusted. And as I said to you, Katie, who would have thought we'd be seeing another defenders on the score sheet? Les Dumbalas early in the first half. Now Stephen Pace is on the score sheet as well. Zara tried to make sure that ball was in as well, but a fantastic set-piece free kick there from Jack Petrie.
Always helps when you can have defenders that can get it done at both ends of the pitch, either in defence and as well as attack, scoring goals as well. It's starting to get a little bit more emphatic for Heidelberg now, providing some icing on some very sweet cake for this Orthodox Easter time as well here at Heidelberg United. Really dominant performance. They're really starting to assert their dominance here. The challenge, of course, that led to that goal was almost forced into that by Way. Way was able to breach that defensive line there, had to drag him back somehow, but it's ended up in a goal from after Petrie very well delivered that to Pace there. A very slick professional unit we are seeing here in action.
And Danny City have made their final change of the evening as well, with Stipo Andrasevic coming onto the field for their captain, Sean Filipovic, who's going to be taking a well-earned rest as well. So the Danny City trying to go with a former Melbourne Knight player in Andrasevic, and we're about to see Lewis Hall come off, and the man who can score when he comes off the bench very, very well. And I remember this guy, Katie, very well from 2016. He scored 4 goals off the bench in season 2016 for Heidelberg United. I speak of the one and only, the man, Harry Noon, with the most ridiculous man bun you'll ever see. For the love of God, can someone please chop that off, because it is atrocious.
You're being very harsh right now. It's quite a miraculous bun he is sporting there, Harry Noon, the barber, of course, himself. Really, yeah, he's a fantastic player, no doubt about it. All kidding aside, he's been a fantastic player for Heidelberg United. The ball's in, it's a goal. A header there, loops in. Heidelberg, Dandenong City able to pull that one back out of nowhere almost against the run of play through the set piece. The header has looped in at the far post.
I think it was Anthony Poljak who actually headed that one in as well. So it's now 5-2, and 7 goals have been scored in this game. So Danny City not celebrating too much, because they know that they've still got a bit of a mountain to climb. Ruben Way. And Danny's ball. This is exactly what City wants. McCormick to bring the ball back in. And again, last touch there came off the boots of Jack Petrie. So in quick successions, we've seen the ball go into the back of the net. Firstly, through Stephen Pace, and then Anthony Poljak to bring the ball, to pull one back for Dandy City. So now it's 5-2. 7 goals being scored in this one, and yet again, it's looking like a shootout. Hopefully, there's another tail in this tape, because I think if Dandy City can take one back, we could be in for maybe a grandstand finish to this one. McCormick, he's trying to find a spare man. He does in Ochieng. Back to McCormick. That ball go through midfield. A minor push to the back of Tom Cahill, who'll get the free kick. And Greg Lombardo better be careful. He's already on 1 yellow. He does not want to be sent off. And Danny City does not want to be down to 10 men for the duration, or the last 20 minutes at least, of this contest. As I said, we're seeing Hume City become victorious against Pascoe Vale, as it does not scare Kennedy in the slightest. We're going to try and get the other game that's currently going on right now as we speak. And it's currently 1-0 to the Thunder. Dandenong have scored through Brandon Barnes, which is good because the last time we saw him, he was having a frustrating game out at Avondale. So Barnes opening the scoring there for Dandenong Thunder against South Melbourne, and the Howlers are down 1-0.
Potentially a big hole there for Dandenong. Interesting matchup that is proving to be with Dandy and South. Of course, both sides have had really up and down seasons. Have really struggled to really get, I guess, real consistency going, I think is how I would characterise it again at this point. But we'll be keeping a little eye on that while we can today. But it's all handy, very handy lead, you have to say, for Dandy Thunder at this time.
And remember, do watch on the Facebook and YouTube channel after this game at least to Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne as well to complete your Super Saturday. As a through ball there, looking like it was going to go into the breadbasket of Poljak, and at the end could not. And Adrian Zara now trying to find the ball, which has made its way out onto the dirt track here at the Olympic Village. At one point in time, this used to be an athletics track from memory. It looked like it did. I would say from, you'd see right there, you got the running track right in front of us where the pitch starts, and then where the pitch is right now would be definitely where shot put and discus would have been. There'd be a long jump pit somewhere around here as well. But yeah, just very resembling of like Olympic Park, the old Olympic Park, which is now home to the Collingwood Football Club, and they train out of the Restpac Centre because they, for some reason, like to change their sponsor names every 4 or 5 years for some ridiculous reason. Katie's giving me a little bit of a long-eyed look because I know she's a Collingwood fan herself. Oh, she's not actually, no.
I'm not that bad. I'm an Essendon supporter for everyone tuning in today. Just to confirm, I'm definitely not a Collingwood supporter.
My mistake. And this is the beauty of, how dare me. See, I've already ruined our friendship. Second game in calling together as the ball goes in, as we try and contain ourselves. Though at least your team's doing better than my football team at the moment. My football team plays tomorrow afternoon, and I still have reservations whether they're actually going to win or not against Hawthorn, but that's another story for another day. They're going after the last touch here. Both Noon goes down with Vranjic. And the ball squaring back with Heidelberg United, and it'll be brought back in here by Les Dumbalas. We also might keep a tab as well on the A-League game that's happening as well between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Melbourne Victory, which should be kicking off very, very shortly, or towards the conclusion of this game as well. So we'll bring you scores of that one as well. So Victory want to try and hopefully finish third to try, and they want to get that home final. They're probably not going to get in the end as high as thirds. And they're looking forward to hopefully hosting crosstown rivals Melbourne City next weekend in the A-League finals at a packed Amy Park. Melbourne City doing themselves a huge favour after thrashing Central Coast last night at Amy Park as well. And not sure what Ruben Wade was thinking in that instance with the back pass, because it was just a sea of Dandenong City's players. Ochieng goes down and he'll get a free kick. Frustration a bit from Ochieng. I think we just heard a little bit of what he said. We can't unfortunately repeat that on the coverage. And they're going to try and send this cross fields. This is Kelly. Kelly fighting off a few Heidelberg United players, including Harry Noon. Ochieng looked like he wanted to go deep. He couldn't, or else he would have been called offside. And that ball from Kelly was nowhere near where he thought it would be, and will be a goal kick through Christian Theodoridis as we elapse now into the 78th minute of this contest. It's 5-2, 7 goals scored in this one. Very shortly, we'll finish here, and you can all tune in to Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne at the conclusion of this game. And we can tell you that Dandenong have struck first against South Melbourne. That was through Brandon Barnes too, who's had a very quiet season so far in season 2019 and the quiet last few seasons, as well as me and Katie alluded to on our coverage a few weeks back between Avondale and Danny Thunder. We can feel the temperature dropping just a little bit. We are starting to get into the winter months here in Melbourne. I'm not liking it myself, but that's just me. I'm more of a spring and summer person, being a spring baby like myself. I don't know about you, Katie, but yeah, I'm not really enjoying the cold too much.
Not going to lie to you, I definitely am a winter person. It's not going to lie, the first few weeks as well, if winter can always be a bit tough to get used to, but yeah, have to love the cold weather. Typical football weather. Yeah. Proud football weather, so it's tough at the moment as this game sort of meanders to its inevitable conclusion here, with Heidelberg putting on really a fantastic performance. Dandenong City just not able to have that consistent level of performance throughout the game. There's just, as well, lapses in concentration have hurt. Heidelberg have put on the pressure, and that will tell on anybody, really. That will test many a team in this competition, but it just seems to be how City are going at the moment. It's going to be real. They're in for a real fight to try and avoid relegation at this time. This is a high-quality league, and the quality goes up every single year. Just seems to be that they're going to be in that position where they're going to need to scrap and fight for every point in every game. So tough times for Dandenong City tonight.
And you're right too, Katie, with the season progressing as it is. Like, we're not even at the halfway mark of the season. We're in match week 10. These are the kind of games that you want to see, the cellar dweller teams like your Dandy Cities, your Dandenong Thunders, your Oakley Cannons. Like, these are the kind of games you want them to hopefully at least try and get a point out of it as well, because if you look at it, it's going to be a lot tougher for them towards the latter part of the year as well, when they are battling to try and stay afloat, trying to stay out of relegation. And Heidelberg in the last 2 weeks have scored 7 goals at the Olympic Village, which is a fantastic feat. 2 weeks ago, they beat Bentley Greens. They had a comfortable win in the FFA Cup against Keilor Park. So they know where the back of the net is. And Dandy City, this could be a real shot in the arm game for them to try and get themselves back into, hopefully, away from relegation zone where they need to be in this point of the season. As City can try and scrape maybe a late goal here. Thompson. That's one great crossing from McCormick, sorry. And Heidelberg again can break away. And Sean Ellis again can use his speed. Harry Noon, not too sure if he was offside or not. We won't know that. As Heidelberg will bring the ball back in on the throw-in through Josh Wilkins, who again we congratulate as well. We'll be trialling with the Mariners this week, and broken by Daily Football Show's Joey Lynch earlier today. Joey Lynch, probably one of the best NPL Victoria journalists going around in this country right now. Good header there from Ruben Way. Goes over to left post of the byline and does not face Kennedy in the slightest, and it'll be a goal kick. So Way trying to put half a dozen eggs into the baskets. Fortunately, they're missing that 6th egg there. They're missing that 6th goal. It's still 5-2. Huge thank you as well to everyone who's contributed as well. I'm going to pass back to Kay because Kay's got something to say.
Speaking of eggs in the basket, I have to voice my displeasure and not winning the raffle today at Heidelberg United. Some fantastic hamper, Easter hamper presented here around the ground. We did buy raffle tickets. It had the same colour, same letter on my ticket, just the wrong number. And I have to say I'm dirty about that at the moment, but I'll move on eventually.
As we were preparing for this evening's call, the lovely people here at Heidelberg United brought past a lovely little hamper full of chocolate and it takes me a while to actually get involved in a raffle ticket if it's worth my time, but I saw how many eggs that were in that basket, and I was like, okay, I need to try and win this hamper because I saw all my favourite chocolates in there, and as I said, like, I'm a sweet person, I've got a sweet tooth. So as Heidelberg United will try and keep the ball in, and they can't, so this ball will be placed back into the feet of Kennedy. But yeah, I'm a sweet person, and I'm also very, very disappointed that my number D33 did not get called out as well. I'm very disappointed because I was looking forward to strapping the basket into my car on the way home as well and having the chocolate here and also sharing it with Katie alongside me as well. We're going to be eating a bit of chocolate for dinner. I will say, though, I'm actually looking forward to the gyro after the game too, as the Greeks continue to enjoy their Easter now. They had the Greek Easter Good Friday last night with thousands and thousands of Greeks from around Melbourne and I think around Australia as well were marching as well for the Good Friday. And then tomorrow is every Greek's Christmas. It's a Greek Christmas. It's Greek Easter. It is the time of year where Greeks absolutely love the foods, the lamb, the gyro, the spits, everything, the salad. They're not too pleased with Dandenong City fans right in front of us. Bit disappointed. I will say, though, Katie, I'm a little bit disappointed for the fact that I'm not Greek myself because I do am envious of my Greek friends who have got the opportunity to have Greek Easter and all the food in the world. As this ball goes in, it looks like an opportunity for Dandenong City.
Looks like he was going to volley that out of mid-air. Oh, missed Callie almost there, pulling a shot out of mid-air, trying to get that through on goal. I need to correct you on one thing, though. Yep. It is Orthodox Easter, not just Greek Easter. We have, of course, people in Egypt celebrating tomorrow, Ukraine, Russia, many Orthodox around the world, myself, Macedonian. It's going to be a fantastic day tomorrow. So to everyone who celebrates Easter tomorrow, all the best and enjoy the day.
Happy Orthodox Easter, not just Greek Easter. So I'm going to try my best to hopefully not offend any more nationalities tonight on the call. But Macedonian Easter sounds like a treat as well. Alice was offside there. Was trying to hopefully get another goal for Heidelberg United. Another change is here. Paul O'Brien will come on for Jack Petrie. So Jack Petrie coming on as Katie scans through the comments section to see if I've offended anyone else tonight with, no, I haven't, thank God for that. But so Jack Petrie comes off the field. He's had great minutes tonight. He's been very viable. He's been very lively for Heidelberg United. And coming onto the field for the last 5 minutes of normal time before added time gets added on is Paul O'Brien for Heidelberg United. How would you rate Jack Petrie's game tonight, Katie? Because he's had a fantastic game in my opinion.
Has been absolutely a leader for Heidelberg today. Has just been that very valuable presence in the middle of the field there today throughout the whole game. Has been a crucial link between attack and defences and has helped Heidelberg control the game. So very good call by you.
As we count down now the last few minutes, Heidelberg will win this one. But Dandenong City, though, for the latter part of this half, have been very brave. They've put two in the back of the nets. Probably a lot better than what a lot of people would have anticipated 90 minutes ago. Katie had him at 3-1. I had him at 4-0. Which elapsed now into the 87th minutes of this one. Huge win today, 2-1 to Hume City. And Giuseppe Marafiotti has scored for South Melbourne at the stroke of half-time. So they've gone into the sheds, and it's 1-1 between Danny Thunder and South Melbourne. Yeah, Giuseppe Marafiotti scoring that one. It could be opportunity now. Here is Cahill. The flags should have gone up. Looked like a handball. And that's gone over the byline anyway. Cahill looked like he was under a lot of intense pressure there. Could not put into the back of the net. And Kennedy's counting his lucky stars that it's not 6-2 in this one. You still have a bit of short time before we hand it over to Dandenong Thunder in South Melbourne, and you guys can be joining the second half of that game. To join us in the comment section below as we look into the rest of the games. And probably the big game that we're looking at is Kingston City, Bentley Greens, as I love the Monday night fixture at the Grange Reserve. Great little venue is the Grange in Endeavour Hills. Very good to call football from as well. We go into the 89th minute of this one. Heidelberg will get the 3 points and keep themselves in touch with the top two at this point in time. As Heidelberg look like they'll try and press again. Have a quick look at the ladder as well, and we'll also tell you, go to second. We'll go to second here. Melbourne Knights are in second, and Avondale haven't played just yet either. Oh, Avondale have. They have. They've taken on Oakley Cannons, and they won. So Avondale's at 28, and Heidelberg will be up to 22. So they're still about 6 points shy of Avondale, as Avondale is still the team to beat in season 2019. We're just trying to do some quick maths in our heads because the ladder hasn't updated on our end just yet. As we look into next week's games. And Dandenong City will be heading to Bentley Greens next Friday night for a good contest at Kingston Heath. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, Heidelberg United will have their third straight home game. They'll be welcoming the Port Melbourne Sharks to the Olympic Village. So both teams will be playing on a Friday night, a little bit later though, at 8:15. Don't mind the 8:15 fixture myself. As we go into red time here in this one, still 5-2. As Heidelberg United look like they're about to. And Heidelberg and Avondale Saturday, May 11 at the Olympic Village as well. So the week after that as well. So could potentially be close to a top of the table clash if Avondale do drop. And 4 minutes of out of time have been called. As we see Peter Deng warming up on the bench. He looks like he's going to come on for the last 4 minutes of this game. Just still indecisive on who might be coming off for Peter Deng. So we quickly look at the boards. The linesman's got a very tough job tonight, having to change the board over. Luke Bowles is the one who comes off for Heidelberg United, and Peter Deng will play out the last 4 minutes. Luke Bowles, yet again, hasn't had too much of the ball tonight, but he's been solid through midfield, I'd say.
Has been a real, I guess, a real strong figure in the centre of defence for Heidelberg, of course. Luke Biles takes an early rest here, an early finish to the game. Well deserved, by the way. I think he's one of those players that are able that help build a platform, that leadership that helps Heidelberg make it the team that they are. Just a really well structured. A team that works very hard, and we have players like him who are very experienced and help with that. A real key to success, I would say.
As we count down now, we're probably first minute into our 4 minutes of added time. Scoreline still at 5-2, and half time between Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne. So once we go off air in about 5 to 10 minutes from now, do switch on over to the Dandenong Thunder in South Melbourne and watch the second half, because that's going to be a real close encounter between two sides. As a late one potentially for Danny seeing this one, no. Be theatre readers who keep the possession. Goes over the heads. Kenny with a long ball to midfield. And it'll be Ochieng now for Dandy City. I would love to get a consolation goal here, Dandy City. Not to be. And now Heidelberg can sort of count down the seconds, as we're not too far away now from the finish of this game. So it'll be a handy win for Heidelberg. They've scored 7 goals now, the Village, in the NPL competition. And they've got a massive next 2 weeks. Port Melbourne next Friday night, and then the clash against Avondale. And the Avengers, they're going to be very hard to try and stop. If there's one team that could stop them, it could be Heidelberg, and Heidelberg potentially could give Avondale maybe their first loss in a couple of weeks' time of the season. So as you can tell, and from my experience here, a free kick's been called, but from my experience, Heidelberg are very hard to beat here. So we now count down to the last few seconds of this one. And we'll get into our post-game show very shortly as well. Earlier today, Hume City beat Pascoe Vale 2-1. So we'll talk about the game in short very, very quickly. I'm going to get Katie's man of the match. Whether it's still Ruben Way or if she's changed her mind since then. She's collating in ahead at the moment as we speak. She's not sure. She's only got about 2 minutes. I'm going to give her 2 minutes to think of one. As Ochieng fights that one out, and it'll be a corner now for Dandy City in the last few seconds of this one. It'll be Zach Thompson who'll be the corner kick recipient. And it would put a smile on a few Dandy City faces if they can score a 3rd goal here. And Theodoridis is going to make sure that it's going to stay 5-2 in this one. As I said, Dandy City, they've been brave in this second half. They've shown a lot more attacking prowess. But that's it. Game comes to its conclusion. It's 3 points to Heidelberg United. It's 5-2. Really quickly, Katie, we're going to discuss this game quickly and short. What did you think of the 9 minutes between both sides? And if Dandy City had probably had more of the attacking edge over Heidelberg in this half, or do you think Heidelberg had more of it?
I guess for the most part of the game, Heidelberg were the better team. And when they had those moments, when they did have that momentum, they made sure to use it. And they were able to score. They were able to find their ways to goal. I think Tom Cale was very selfless in the way he helped that forward half work, in the way he helped link up play, really got into some good positions on the field. And I would say he was a very close shot for my man of the match, but I'm going to give that to Ruben Way, who I thought was fantastic from start to finish. All is not lost for Dandy. I know the result is what it is, but I think there were moments in there that they've shown that they can match it, that they really can cause teams trouble, and it's just a matter of getting that consistency right over 90 minutes is where it needs to be for them. That's where their goal needs to be. But Heidelberg too strong, too good, and too good for too long in this game for Dandenong City to keep up, and it's a well-deserved win for the home side.
Dandy City will be heading to Kingston Heath next Friday night to take on the Bentley Greens, and again, another place where it's not easy to get the 3 points from. Kingston Heath, Bentley played that ground very well, I should say. Meanwhile, Heidelberg United will be entertaining Port Melbourne Sharks in that one. Earlier, as we said, Hume City with a 2-1 win over Pascoe Vale, and it's still 1-1 at half-time between Dandenong Thunder and South Melbourne, and that's where we're going to take you right now. Katie, thank you for joining me this evening, and always a pleasure, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks so much for having me, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments, all that left comments. Thanks to everyone for tuning in once again. All the best, and we'll catch up with you soon. Be sure to tune in across our live streams.
And as we sign off, Make sure you keep following the NPL Victoria on Facebook and YouTube with Dandenong Thunder taking on South Melbourne. It's 1-1 at Dackland Stadium as we speak. But as we sign off from this game at Olympic Village, Kaylen Besky and Michael Thompson, tonight it was Heidelberg United with a commanding 5-2 win against Dandenong City.